Coach, day after a game, you're always, you know a little bit more once you've seen it on tape. So let's just get right into the 2 interceptions. There's 11 guys on the field, but is it all quarterback in this case? Is there different things in play? What went wrong on those 2 particular plays?
Yeah, well, I mean, the bottom line is we can't turn it over. I mean, we're putting our defense in a bad position, and you know, we're just so far down in turnover margin right now. We've got to stop beating ourselves. And you know, the first one, Jameis maybe forced it into coverage a little bit too much, and on the second one, we weren't in the right spot on the route. Jameis was trying to look it off, and then, you know, Talib made a nice play coming back underneath, actually undercut Mike to get the interception.
Jameis, he's a confident guy. Did you sense anything as the game went on, especially as you're coming out of the weather delay, and it almost seemed inevitable in the final 6 minutes of the game? Did you sense that cracking at all, or any frustration in him?
Perhaps? Oh, definitely frustration. Frustration in frustration everywhere. Frustration with the fans. There's frustration in the fans. There's frustration with the players. Frustration with the coaches. When you have a 90-minute delay and you're down 3 scores, I mean, that's a whole different scenario than, you know, the week before when we had the momentum and it looked like we were going to have a chance to get down and win the game at the end. I mean, that's a long 90 minutes when you're down 3 scores with, you know, 7 minutes to go or whatever it was. That's just mentally, that's a tough situation for the players to be in. You know, I'm very confident that Jameis is going to bounce back. You know, we had a similar situation to this at this time last year where, you know, through the first 4 games we turned it over too much on offense. We pulled out of it and went through a streak where Jameis played strong and the offense rallied around him, and I'm confident that we can do it again.
You remember, I remember him saying that it was, they kind of reeled it in a little bit, reeled in the playbook a little bit, made it more, not simplified, but a little more he could handle, and then as the year went on, you added in more and more. Do you remember that kind of going through the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were very careful with Jameis as a rookie, a lot of max protection. You know, we've done so many interviews in the off season where, you know, people thought that here we are going into Jameis's second season, that like we were taking the shackles off of him. You know, that we limited him in some way a year ago. You know, we just got to remember these are really good defenses we're playing against. They're the best players in the world. You know, I think at times Jameis wants to win so badly, and he's such an excellent competitor that he sometimes can try to do too much. And you know, there's times in the NFL where you just have to give up on a play and cut your losses. And you know, Jameis, we went through this. He learned his lesson, and he played well. I think, like I said, I think he'll do it again.
During the game, you never really get a chance to get emotional about guys coming in or out of the game, but Gerald McCoy leaves. It's a void in many ways. Just your thoughts on his absence, no matter how long this is, and filling in during the game and however long this is going.
Yeah, well, you know, we've definitely, injuries are the worst thing about football at any level, whether it be high school, college, or pro. And you know, when you lose your best players, it hurts your entire team. And Gerald is such a disruptive player on the inside. He often requires a double team from the other side, and it frees other guys up to go one-on-one. So losing Gerald is big, just like, you know, we've been without Robert Ayers. Some years it seems like you're hardest hit at a single position, and the defensive line is, you know, we started the game with 8 defensive line, and by halftime we were down to 6. Now, with that said, we had 2 other guys, Clinton McDonald and Will Golston, who stepped up and had their best games of the year, and they needed to step up. You know, when one man goes down, another guy has to step up, and those 2 guys did.
And finally, it's ironic in this division, you know, the team that lost on opening day has gotten red hot. Meanwhile, everybody's kind of still locked in together there. There's a chance to if you get on a roll, this is far from a bad season here. Just kind of forecast the week you're going into a hornet's nest Monday night against Carolina, and what's at stake.
Yeah, well, the division right now, Atlanta's playing good football, and ironically, their only loss is to us at their place. So they're sitting there at 3-1 with a 2-game lead, and the other 3 teams we're all the same at 1-3. So none of us are very happy with where we're at. There's still you know, 12 games left to go in the division, and there's every reason to think that the division will come down to the last week. I mean, we've just got to worry about what we do. I mean, we have to improve as a football team, and we have to do a much better job of playing complementary football. I mean, our offense can't put our defense in bad spots. We can't alternate who's playing good and who's playing bad. We got to be consistent in all three phases, and I've got to coach them better. I got to find a way to get these guys all on the same page, and we got to put 60 minutes of good football together.